And welcome to the Charity First Handicapping Challenge. I'm Jeff Chapman, and no Giorgio today. He's on assignment, so filling in today, Seminar Skip. Skip, do your best Giorgio impersonation.
How's everybody doing this morning? It's just a wonderful morning. It's a spectacular day. That's the best I can do. I can't keep up with Giorgio, man.
Not too bad, buddy. How you doing today? I know our friend, and we'll talk to our guests about it in a second, but our friend Michael McCarthy won the Preakness, so I'm sure you're a happy man today.
Yeah, no, it was a good day. It was a great Preakness. We had him on our radio show, so that was nice, and so happy for him, winning. And I texted him this morning, and he just was saying what a day it was yesterday, and he was so happy. So congratulations to him.
And we'll bring in our first guest, Mr. Andrew Lerner, trainer to the stars. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
First of all, what were your thoughts on the Preakness yesterday and Michael McCarthy getting the big win?
I was so happy. Mike's always been such a nice guy to me. He's just a professional. He goes about his business, but he's always been nice to me since I started training. And it's nice to see his hard work pay off. And you could tell in his post-race interview how happy he was and how touched he was. And it's fun to watch West Coast horses and trainers win. It just shows how competitive it is out here in Southern California. So it's always nice when those horses step up and those trainers step up and our jockeys step up, and it really bodes well for our California racing.
Yeah, no question about it. Jason Levine, our other contestant today, your thoughts as well?
I'll echo everything Andrew said. There was some other things at stake in that race, so I think it was good for the game in that way. We needed to kind of clear the decks, and when Ron Bauer got rolling, the decks were cleared. I think that was really good for everybody for the next 3 weeks. That was huge. And of course, there was the obvious golden gate to the Preakness. Who doesn't,
It's the best angle there is.
Although in the 80s, there were 3 horses who did that, I think. So it was actually,
right.
It was at Bay Meadows then, the late, great Bay Meadows. But that horse can run. His race at Golden Gate was really impressive. I remember watching that one. I mean, he really closed. And it was fun to see that. I always, root for the West Coast horses in those situations. So it was cool to see him rolling, and you could tell he's going to roll right by those two. And that's always kind of a fun feeling too. It's like, oh, he's got him, and he got him. So, and like Andrew said, to see him after the race, that's real. That it does mean that much. And I hope that Andrew gets there, soon and experiences that. That's the height of the game. I mean, that's a Triple Crown race, and he felt it. So that was cool.
And Andrew, I'm not sure if you saw this or Skippy, but Jason and I were talking before the show that Michael had actually mentioned that he really wanted to go in the Derby, which surprised me a little bit there, huh, Jason?
Yeah, he was right in that he knew the horse was doing great. And I think that was his argument to the owners was, hey, the Bluegrass was really good. He's doing great. I want to run him in the Derby, and it fits him. And we found out that the owners said no. And I mean, Andrew can speak to that more than me. I haven't had those conversations. I'm sure he has.
It's usually the other way, though, where the owner wants you to go in the races and you don't want to go in the races. So
that's usually the way we hear it. And, this was interesting. And the owner was like, no, I mean, this is what we want to do, and we're feeling good about it. So it was very interesting. The way the Derby went, I don't think he was going to get there. That track doesn't play that way. That race doesn't play that way. So I don't know. I'm sure the others saying the same thing.
Yeah,
so that was cool.
And Skip, you're very close with Michael, and didn't you say you had watched one of the races with him, and you knew he was very high on the horse going into the last couple months?
Right, going into Bluegrass, I was sitting with him, and he was high on that horse then. He came out on the track, and he was bouncing around. He said, this horse is doing really good. The horse got off slow and didn't run bad. It ran a good third to Central Quality. And I think maybe sitting out the Derby was a blessing in disguise. Came in as a fresh horse. And I know when that horse came on the track yesterday, I was sitting with a friend of mine, and I said, wow, he looks great. He's bouncing around. He's on his toes, and he's ready to go today. And I loved his last work. And Michael McCarthy was talking about his last work was so good. He outworked the horse, and he galloped out real good, and he was doing good coming into this race. So it was an exciting race, and I'm so happy. And we needed that. We needed to get something else going and get ready for the Belmont.
Yeah.
Did he make any comments? I do not know. Are the plans thus far? Obviously, they can change to go to the Belmont.
I think
That's what his plans are as of now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, things could change, but yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
But I don't think Flavio will be on that horse.
Right, because he's on Hot Rod Charlie too, right? So he's going to have a
he already
decision.
made a commitment to Hot Rod Charlie, so I don't think you'll see Pratt on Brown Bear tomorrow or in the Belmont.
That's a heck of a Belmont. Everybody's pointing to it, and that's happened in the recent years, and that's going to be a very serious horse race this year.
It really will.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, Andrew and Jason, more to that. This year, all the top dogs who ran, didn't win the Derby, skipped the Preakness this year. But do you think that's going to be more of the trend just because of the fact that if they don't win, there's nothing to run for in the Triple Crown. They don't have to come back in 2 weeks and really use their horse up. It seems, you think what's going to happen moving forward more and more?
Yeah. It takes a lot out of a horse. It's a lot to run him back in 2 weeks and then in another 3 weeks. There's a big difference when you can give your horse a little bit of rest, especially when you run in a 20-horse field in the Derby, and it takes a lot out of them. And that's a tough, daunting task to win the Triple Crown. That's why you got to respect all the horses and the trainers that have done it, because that is I think one of the biggest feats in sports that you can do is win the Triple Crown. It is very, very difficult.
Yeah. I agree. And I think the Belmont, for a lot of reasons, has so much more prestige than the Preakness. And, so I think if it's ever a toss-up between an owner and a trainer or whoever's discussing it, you're always going to lean to the Belmont. It towers over the Preakness in what it means and the history of it. And then you factor in the 2 week thing, and it's become kind of a no-brainer, which is really too bad for the Preakness and too bad for the competitiveness of the Preakness. It's just how it goes. It's just where we're at now. They just don't run horses that often anymore. So that idea of the 2 week thing is like, oh my God, no way, and you're done. And it's like it's so easy to say, oh, we need to give them a break.
Yeah.
Okay, but it hurts the Preakness badly.
And the Belmont loves it because oftentimes it kind of gives the Derby winner a free pass to win the second leg, and then you've got somebody going in for the Triple Crown.
For sure. And I think we've seen a few of those, over the years that, had everybody shown up in the Preakness, I don't think we would be going for a Triple Crown. But again, that's just part of it too. So
yeah, no question.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is the charity first handicapping challenge. But first, before we get to that, Andrew, not to put you on the spot, but the 2-year-olds are coming and have come now and started up. Do you have any 2-year-olds for our listeners, watchers to look forward to that might be, we're gamblers here. Anybody that maybe now just run in the next few weeks?
Probably. Well, I got about 7 2-year-olds right now. There's one that I like that's kind of stood out above the rest. His name is Il Capitano. He's an Air Force Blue.
I'm writing it down.
Me too.
Air Force Blue hasn't done much, but Coolmore owns half of that, and then another owner of mine, Eric Homme. But this thing's been working pretty nicely, and they liked it at the farm a little bit. So it was bought as a yearling. Wasn't the most expensive horse. I think they paid 70 or 75 as a yearling for it. But it's training. It seems to be training pretty forwardly. But I would think it's a grass router, but it's got a pretty good attitude and disposition. I wouldn't be surprised if that turns out to be a decent horse.
Now, do you think that's an advantage because it's a yearling? Because a lot of times they come in from those sales, and the horses are very high strung. They're sent. They're ready to get ready for that sale. When you get them, is their mind not always right? When maybe it's better to back off a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes you go to the sale and you get them and you're all high and you're excited about them. And then you get to the barn and you go, is that the same horse I bought at the sale a week ago? And it just takes some of the horses it takes a lot out of them. They really crank on them to get them towards those sales. So I think when you have the opportunity to get them as yearlings and they kind of go to a farm that you're familiar with, and the farm manager knows you and kind of knows the program you want them to be in, that can be a big advantage just because they're not hammered on so early on, and they kind of can take their time with them. There's no deadlines. And so I think it can be a big advantage to get them as yearlings.
I love it. Little insight there. And El Capitano, everybody write that down. We'll be looking for that horse down the line maybe a little bit. Yep. And let's get started with handicapping challenge here. Each contestant has $100 to win, $100 exacta, and $100 daily double. And Skip filling in for Georgie today. You are Team Jason Levine. And I'll start with Andrew. Andrew, we've got $100 to win. Where are we going and why?
Well, we're going to go to the third race with one of my favorite trainers, Andrew Lerner. You might as well bet on yourself. So, this horse is doing well. We claimed him, and I stupidly ran him on the turf going long. I thought that maybe he would like that. He's a really, really big horse, but he just seemed to kind of have that high knee action where he would like the turf, but he didn't like either of my ideas that day and didn't run well. But I draw a line through that. I think he's going back to 3/4, which he broke his maiden with a top figure there in the field, reunited with Juan Hernandez. So I think you're going to get value on him. I think he'll float up more to 6-1, to be honest with you. And I think that's decent value. And if he can run back to that first race, I think he'll be right there.
Well, I'm just glad you didn't go to the one horse or somebody else in that race. I knew we'd be in trouble.
That would have been a little trouble if I did that.
Skippy?
Now, Jason, we did this tournament a while back, and you took me down. So this time I'm going to be pulling for you, buddy. Where will you go with our 100 to win bet?
As a team, we can't lose. I mean,
that's right.
We crushed it that day. So I'm going to get back in that mindset. Seeing you has got me focused. This is all good. So I'm feeling it. Well, let's go to the race before Andrew's race 2. And I think these are the turf sprints is where I've been doing it in this tournament. So I'm going to stick to that. The 2, Gidgetta, I think gets a really good setup in here. There's 3 speed horses who are all good, can all really run, but look like they need to go. And decent jockey here, Mr. Rispoli. He's turned out to be he's okay on the grass. It's been pretty good. And he reads the form, and I think he's going to sit a really, really nice trip, like a couple of the horses I had in this tournament, and come get him. The last race was super impressive, just really, really impressive. And he was given a break by Richard Baltus, which I think was good. Comes back fresh, and I think nails him in the last 100 yards with that classic kind of turf finish, and gets there. So Jungle Racing, Jim Rome from my school, UC Santa Barbara. So this is for the Gauchos out there. I straight up, I think this horse has a big chance.
I like it. And Jungle Racing, I was going to bring that up. Jim Rome owning the horse. So, and I didn't know you were a Gaucho also. So go Gaucho.
At the same time, we were there at the same time.
Nice.
Is that right?
Yeah, we know quite a few of the same people from the baseball team. So it goes way back. Yeah, he's been pretty quiet in racing. I'm not sure why, but his profile has really dropped. I haven't heard why.
I think that after Shared Belief, I think he really took that really hard with what happened with Shared Belief. And it kind of, I don't know, I think that's kind of the reason. I don't know personally. I don't know him. That's just what I'm assuming. I listened to a podcast, and I think he had mentioned something about that.
Yeah, that could do it.
Yeah. Shared Belief. What a horse that was.
Horse is a monster. The people not everybody realizes how good that horse was. I mean, absolute beast. Yeah.
Right.
Jim Rome will be interesting. He was out here for that last race last time. He was, yeah. So I talked to him in the winner's circle after that race. So hopefully he'll be here today. Like you said, should get a great setup. Not that I'm rooting for you because I'm not. I'm rooting for Lerner. But anyway, I do like that horse as well. Andrew, exacta time. Where are we going with our exacta and why?
The exacta, we are going to race, I think it's 6. Let me get to it. I'm just scrolling on my form. Race 6. It's the main special weights going a mile. I have a $50 exacta box with the 2-horse Mr. Impossible, Simon's horse. I think this horse will like routing, stretching out a little bit. It's got a lot of experience. Has run against some decent horses, Concert Tour in there, Defunded, Following Seat, good horses. I think that horse will appreciate that at distance. And then I'm going to put Beyond Brilliant with Juan Hernandez and John Sheriff's that horse. I know it's been running on the turf, but being by Twirling Candy, I think it can run on the dirt as well. So $50 exacta box for us, Chappie.
All right, $50 exacta box on Mr. Impossible, Beyond Brilliant, who was beaten at 1-9, I think the last time out. None of these horses have tried 2 turns, so it's going to be very interesting to see. But we'll take it. Even if it's chalky, you got to get on the board, Lerner, right?
Got to get on the board. Got to get on the board.
Skippy?
Now, Jason, we got another turf race, 6.5 on the turf. I don't know where you're going, but I know you like those turf sprints. So where are you going to go for your $100 exactive?
I do. We're going to take a shot here and try to knock one not out of the park, but do some damage. The 5 Dolce, a very interesting runner in here for Richard. I guess I'm on the Baltus train today. I didn't realize it worked out that way, but this is a horse. If you throw out the route race, the sprints look really, really good. And to me, the key race is 3 back. This horse just got nailed by Legs Galore, who is a very, very nice runner and has really kind of taken off. This horse had a big break since January, which I think is great. The last 2 races weren't great, but coming back here, got a couple Europeans to beat. But I think this horse has shown the form and has a number that is very, very competitive in here. Good stalking style. And Mario Gutierrez, who got the job done for me a couple weeks ago here on a similar kind of horse. So 6-1 morning line, I think we'll get that. Yeah, so we're going to take a swing here, $50, the 5 with the 2 Europeans. One gets Pratt, one gets Rispoli. Both have some back class in Europe. The 6, I think, has a little bit more French class. But I think both of them are going to fire, and I'm hoping that Dolce is good enough to beat both of them. That exacta will pay nicely either way, 5 with 2 6.
Yes, it will. 6-1. I like your style, buddy.
Go for it.
I'm telling you, you're gonna get more than 6-1 on that horse. That's my guess. Yeah,
Good.
Because Lofty could be Lone Speed, and I watched the works on the 2 and the 6 on XBTV, both working well. They get Rispoli and Pratt. You know they're going to get bet. So
yeah, give me 10.
It's big balloons time if you're right. We just like Gregorian chant the last time, right? Isn't that what took you down, Skippy?
Yes, Gregorian chant came from the clouds and rolled by him. And I believe that was one of the biggest days that we had on this charity tournament with the money won with Jason.
Yeah, that was good. Because you put me in a position he had to get there. If he didn't win, I didn't win. And towards the end of the card, that was it. And so the pressure was on there. Hopefully we'll do the same thing here.
Yeah, you were top 3, I think, from all the tournaments we've had. Steve Cawthon actually on Kentucky Derby Day took down over $4,000. So he's in the lead right now. Yeah, but
he's Steve Cawthon.
Yeah, exactly. Derby Day. It was meant to be, right?
Really don't have anything else to add to that. Although I did spend a day with him out here at Hollywood Park. I helped bring him out for when they used to do card signings. Remember that? Baseball card, those kind of things. There was a guy at Hollywood Park who used to have the big festivals, and I convinced him to bring Steve out to do a signing. So I was kind of his guide for the day. That was a fun day for me because he was one of my idols growing up, and he's arguably the nicest guy ever. So I've never met anybody who's a straight up nicer guy. It was a fun day. Really, really fun for me. Learning a lot.
Yeah. Just a humble, quiet, kind gentleman for sure. So.
Yeah. All those things. And then, once you get him going, he starts telling you the stories. And I was all in, okay, well, wait a minute. At Epsom, you did what? Oh, well. And like, okay, good. So, that was pretty cool. In addition to, the Triple Crown.
In addition to being on the cover of Time Magazine and Sports Illustrated and whatnot as well.
Yeah, when he was my age, I'm 16 going, what have I accomplished? He set the bar like, oh, come on.
He won the Triple Crown, and I was stealing booze out of my parents' medicine.
Correct. That's the
different paths. All right. Whoa. I digress. Let's get back to racing. It's double time there, Mr. Lerner. Where are you going and why?
All right, we're going to go to race 1 and 2. So we'll start off in the 4.5, the baby race. And it's a tough race to handicap. You got Luis Mendez, who's obviously very good, and Walter Solis has already had a win, I believe. But I like the Bondi horse on the bottom. I really like that last work on May 10th. I think it was on XBTV too, that 47-1 out of the gate. Looks really good. Ken's riding red hot right now. I just think this horse and Jeff and Bonnie's got this horse ready. I think it's a tough race. I think you'll get 5 to 2, 3 to 1 on this horse. So I think it will be a contentious race, but I like that one. And then in the back end of that double, I like the Baltus horse that Jason likes, that Gidgeta, the Jungle Racing horse. I do. I think it gets a really, really perfect trip. You got a lot of speed in there, a lot of horses that want to go to the lead. And, I think Rispoli will just be patient. It's going to set up just beautifully for that horse, and he'll run him down at the end.
I like it. $100 straight exact or double. And like you said, Luis Mendez is always somebody to look, at, but Jeff Bondy certainly gets them done. And that's what's important about watching these works on XBTV is you can watch them yourself. You're a trainer. Obviously you have a better eye for that. And guys, hats off to Kent DeSormo. Is he turned back the clock or what? He looks like a brand new rider again, doesn't he, Andrew?
It's unbelievable. I mean, he looks like a top 5 rider in the country right now. What he's doing on these horses, it's unbelievable. And when he rides like that, he is one of the best jockeys in the room, if not in the country.
Jason, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I've watched his whole career, and the talent is never in question. He's a Hall of Fame talent. He's a genius on horseback. He's got his personal demons. I mean, that's just well documented. I didn't think there was another comeback here. I thought his career was over, and this is stunning. But the talent is always there if his head is right, and we talk about it on the radio show all the time.
Yeah.
The guy is amazing, and we're seeing it again. This is just. I'm hoping it rolls into Del Mar, where he's had so much success, and he knows that course so well, especially the grass. He's going to be given some lessons down there if he can stay focused, which at Del Mar is not easy and hasn't been easy for him.
Ball game down there, yeah.
It is, and I know he's looking at it too, going, "Come on, hang in there," because he's owned that place, and now this would be a lot of fun to see him and Pratt and Rispoli on the grass. Would be tremendous. That'll be a heck of a battle. So I'm hopeful he just keeps it rolling. It's great to watch.
No question. Yeah, we wish him the best of luck, and it's amazing. And Jason, you mentioned your radio show. Real quick, where can people catch your radio show? You guys do a great job and lead right into the Morning Light Sports Show, so it's terrific.
Yeah, we're the opener, 7 a.m., AM 1150, and every Saturday. And then racingjason.com is my website. You can get it live there. You can get the podcast there. It's up by about 8:30. Show's over at 8. And then, we lead right into you and roll on from there. So I've been having fun for 18 years now. It's a long time. Wow. Didn't expect that, but life takes you and you just go with it. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're having a good time doing it. So keep it rolling.
Seminar, you're double time.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. 18 years, it goes by quick, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, it really did. Until I look in the mirror and then I go, oh yeah, okay.
All right, Jason. I think Andrew's got a good one in the first, and it goes into your horse in the second. So we might be behind the 8 ball a little bit to start off the day. Now, where are we going to go with our $100 double?
Well, obviously this horse in the second is going to be the key, because I'm going to take the double from Gidgeta in the second, and we'll go to the third. So the beginning part of this card is going to tell a lot of the story. So Gidgeta will be the key, and we'll go to race 3 and use the 1 Raging Waters. Just claimed by Steve Knapp, who's last couple of years. Wow, he was to me an automatic throw out for 15 years. The last 3, no. Rock solid. And this horse I think has a big chance, and I think might even float up a little bit from 3 to 1. So it needs a ride from the young jock, but I'm going to use the 1 Raging Waters, and I don't know this trainer, but the 3, I just felt like
he's a no-name guy, kind of a gypsy trainer.
He's an up-and-comer.
Obviously doesn't have a clue. He puts the horse going long on the grass. I mean, no idea.
Oh, I know. My harshest critic is my dad. I'm telling you, it's fun. It's his 70th birthday tomorrow, so I bought him a piece of a horse. I wanted to do something cool for him, so I bought a piece of a 2-year-old. Ran bad the other day. Didn't break out of the gate. He didn't even text me back. I wrote "Happy Birthday, Dad." It was just funny. he's a tough critic, but he loves coming out. That's how I got introduced to it.
That's awesome. Well, happy birthday to him, and I'm more than happy if Divas Finale gets the job done. And, Andrew explained better than I could why the horse is set up to run well. But the number that I see, I use Thoroughgraph, and the Thoroughgraph number for that debut from that horse lays over this field. He runs back to that. I'm going to go ahead and say that Mr. Lerner's done his job, and he gets him anywhere near that. And I think this horse is really, really tough here. So 2 with 1-3 in races 2 and 3.
I'm gonna root for my horse, but also against it if we're playing in this competition. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hopefully your front end doesn't hit.
Exactly. Then you're good. Yeah, that's exactly.
But its front end is the back end of your early.
Yeah, but then the back end, so if our front end doesn't hit, then hopefully
I can't even keep track now, so I don't know what we're gonna do here.
Who's on first? I have no idea. All right, well, it's time for the tiebreaker. So we are going to go to race 9. If you guys want to take a look at that real quick. And if you noticed before, we were very unsophisticated. We did the rock, paper, scissors. That is no longer. We've gotten very sophisticated. It's down to the
I'm excited to see this. Okay.
Spinning wheel of.
Oh, I love that.
So we're going to spin the
Somebody
wheel.
actually put the time in to create that? Really?
No, I'm not that creative, believe me. They just told me to make a weird face, and then they made it. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and spin that.
Come on with the hat.
All right. Jason, you get first pick for the tiebreaker in case we have a tie going to the last race.
Yeah, this is and boy, is this going to be a big race. We got the mandatory today, right?
Right.
Correct.
Woo! So just a little attention going to be paid to this race by some horse players.
No doubt.
Wow. This was a tough race. All right, we'll go with a little karma and take the 4 Sweet Devil. Again, not familiar with this trainer. Oh, did he just win the Preakness? We get a little bit of weight off. The numbers on this horse fit the race. I think the race shape fits as well. And in what I thought was a very, very tough race, I'll go with the 4 Sweet Devil to get the job done here. Again, another turf sprint. They put the last, the biggest field last, and it's a very, very competitive race. But I've been pretty impressed with Jessica Pfeiffer, and she's not just a front end rider. This is not a need to lead horse, so she's going to have to work out a trip here. But from a pretty good post, I think she can do it. And the McCarthy magic will just try to ride it here one more time.
All right, Andrew, what are your thoughts on the tiebreaker?
I'm going to go to the 5, this Irish Aura with Richard Baltus, just because it takes one of the biggest drops in the game from special weight to maiden claiming, and he seems to do well with it. He's 21% in the year doing that. I just think that drop is going to really help this horse. He's, run some okay races, decent numbers, but coming down and running against 50 is a big difference in running in maiden special weight. So I think that's looks like an okay horse in this race.
Okay, so 4 for Jason and the 5 for Andrew. I don't think we're going to need the tiebreaker, but that'll about do it. Skippy, thanks for filling in today for Georgie. Appreciate it.
I hope I did well with filling in for him. I didn't have the energy that he does, but I don't think anybody has that kind of energy. So, Georgie, you'll be glad to be back, and I'm sure Chappie will be glad to have you back.
Jason, appreciate it. Everybody tune into his show every Saturday at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And Andrew, happy birthday to your dad, and good luck today, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Andrew,
guys. The winner of
great meet. Keep up the good work, buddy.
Yeah.
winner of this goes to the Final Four starting next week. So we wish you guys luck. Everybody else have a great weekend and take down that pick